I stood on my parents' porch that Thanksgiving morning, the air sharp with November cold, my baby's breath warm against my neck. The wind carried the scent of roasted turkey and maple pie from inside, familiar, cruel reminders of a home that no longer felt like mine. And there it was, nailed crookedly on the front door in my mother's handwriting. Family dinner, no single moms allowed. For a moment, I didn't move. My arms tightened around my daughter, her small fingers gripping my sweater. The laughter inside was faint but clear. They were all there. My brother, his perfect wife, my parents, pretending this was family, pretending I was the shame that needed to be erased. I didn't cry. I just stood there, the cold seeping into my bones, my pulse steady, too steady. Then I knelt, set my wrapped gift gently at the door, and whispered, "Happy Thanksgiving." When I turned and walked away, I knew I'd never come back. 2 years earlier, my mother used to say I was her pride, her little overachiever. Married young to a man they all adored, Daniel. Clean-cut, polite, ambitious. The kind of son-in-law my father used to brag about at barbecues. They never saw what happened behind closed doors. Daniel's words came first, sharp, disguised as jokes. Then came the distance, the late nights, the phone always flipped face down. When I found the hotel receipts and the messages, I didn't scream. I just stared at the screen, memorizing every word he'd sent her. My mother's response when I told her, "Maybe if you tried harder, he wouldn't have strayed." That was the day something inside me cooled, solidified. I stopped expecting warmth from people who only offered conditions. When Daniel left, they blamed me. They called me dramatic, too emotional. When I got pregnant a month later, the DNA test proving he wasn't the father, they called me worse. Single mothers don't belong at family tables, my mother hissed on the phone. She hung up before I could answer. The shift. Grief made me quiet. But quiet is dangerous. It gives you time to think. While they ignored me, I rebuilt. I took freelance design work, saved every dollar, invested carefully. I stopped explaining my choices. My daughter became my anchor, small, soft, utterly pure. And while they whispered about me at Sunday dinners, I listened. My brother's wife posted photos, the remodeled kitchen, the brand new dining set, my parents' retirement plans. Every caption, every post, a clue. They thought I was invisible. I wasn't. So I started planning. Not out of rage, out of clarity. I wanted them to feel what they'd taught me to feel: exclusion, disappointment, and the weight of being forgotten. The plan. When my parents' anniversary came around, I sent them a surprise gift, a home automation system I designed under my business alias. It was sleek, modern, voice-controlled. My mother bragged about it to everyone. "Our daughter sent it. Maybe she's finally growing up." They didn't know it wasn't just a gift. It was a mirror. I'd built hidden cameras into the system, not to spy, but to record their words, to capture the truth. Every comment, every cruel laugh, every time they mentioned how I'd ruined Thanksgiving that year by showing up. 6 months of footage, hours of evidence. Then came Thanksgiving, the one that mattered. I had the package prepared, wrapped in gold paper, tied with a bow. Inside, a flash drive, a letter, and a family video montage I edited myself. On the surface, it looked like a sentimental compilation of old memories, birthdays, vacations, laughter. But halfway through, it shifted. The hidden footage began to play. Their words, their mockery, their faces as they insulted their own blood. At the end, my letter appeared on screen. This is the family I was told to be proud of. This is the home my daughter will never know. Thank you for teaching me what love isn't. The next morning, their screams came just after dawn. My neighbor, Mrs. Harlow, texted me, "Something's happening at your parents' house. I heard shouting." I just smiled, holding my coffee in one hand, my baby playing at my feet. Through the online access I still had, I watched them in silence. My mother sobbing, my father shouting at my brother, accusing him of leaking the footage. My brother's wife hysterical. The family, perfect and polished, breaking apart on camera. Every secret laid bare. Every word they'd thrown at me returned to them in high definition. I didn't post it online. I wasn't looking for sympathy. Justice doesn't always need an audience, just precision. They stopped calling after that. The silence was louder than their hate. And somehow, that was the peace I'd been waiting for. Now, each Thanksgiving, I light a single candle for myself and my daughter. No big table, no forced smiles. Just warmth, honesty, and quiet. Sometimes, when I tuck her in, she asks, "Where's Grandma?"